Good morning. Namaste. Everything is the same. That's what the speaker says. That's what the mind has discovered about itself. Meaning all minds are the same. All life is the same. All beingness is the same. But even in these three statements, they are using words to differentiate specific qualities. Because the mind of ego wants something to measure, something to qualify, something to work on, something to discover, something to investigate. Because when you say everything is the same, billions of ego minds says, what do you mean? That means there's no differences. And of course, life itself, even in our human way, when humanity appeared here, in whatever century, whatever moment, whatever organic reproduction, what took place, meaning the scientific biological way of humans coming. Everything was the same. Because there was no mind able to discover what it was. Imagine first humans. Hello? Well, even that word's not going to take place. Amazement, bewilderment. Don't know a thing what's going on. No idea. Not interested, not looking, just, shocked. Completely shocked at what's going on. Beautiful shock for some, horrible shock for others, depending on where you were born. This ego was born to help man understand what was going on. So ego is a necessary thing. So man immediately created difference with no ego. That I have arrived here and I don't know where I am and I'm separate from this place. Or I appear to be separate. I appear to be bound in this, whatever this is. So ego made division. Our division was made before ego was born. The enlightened mind, the pure mind, goes back to that original state. I'm shocked. Every moment I get up, every morning I wake up, I'm shocked. I just look in disbelief at what is taking place. And I see no differences. Because the mind is not attentive on dividing up. Because wholeness means everything is incredibly large. But ego mind wants to break it up so that it can decipher itself and make something out of itself. And this is perfectly okay. But the matrix of ego is the matrix of a journey into suffering. We can take the words rich and poor. So when the speaker says everything is the same, there's no differences between rich and poor. Now, this speaker unfortunately had 50 years of ego and still experiences ego right now. Knows what ego is. So rich and poor were a divisionistic way to say there are some who are fortunate and some who are unfortunate. That's one meaning. But there now are billions of meanings of rich and poor. Billions of meanings, not just 4 or 5 in the dictionary. Two young children can say, my parents are rich. They're very rich because they have a yacht. They have 5 cars. They have 4 holiday homes. They have $1 million or pounds or yen or whatever it is in the bank. And they don't have to work. My parents are rich. Your parents are poor. They don't have a house. They live in a shed. They don't have any cars. They don't have any. They never go on holidays. They have to work 24 hours a day to keep you in food. You're poor. Extremities of rich and poor. Able to discuss rich and poor. But then it goes into the same child. Or the two different children from a poor background. From that descriptive poor background that the rich child gave, these 2 poor children. One gets a second-hand bike. Parents are able to find out someone who is giving away a second-hand bike for a meager amount of money. And he's on his bike when his friend says, "Why have you got that bike?" "My parents are rich. Your parents are poor." We can enhance this word poor, this word rich. We can argue that we're rich. The poor child could say, "No, you may be rich in monetary ways. My parents and my family are rich. We love each other immensely. We have no arguments. We are completely one. We love, we care, and we do everything for each other, and we are always healthy and well, and we are wise." Which one? How do we define rich and how do we define poor? That's your ego. And we go through this world creating more. I have a second-hand bike now too. Yes, but I am richer because I managed to get some pocket money and put a sticker on my bike. It says King. I have a King bike. You're a poor bike. Even going up the ladder of richness, even the rich make comparisons. The ego of richness. Yes, darling, we have 44 yachts. Yes, but we have 45. Yes, but how big is your yacht? It goes on and on. This is suffering. This is competitiveness. This is comparisons. This is differences. So when an enlightened being says everything is the same, it's neither rich nor poor. It's neither identifying specific qualities. It's not special in the world. It just is able to let go of all these measurements, these qualities, these concepts, these beliefs, these hopes, these differences. So when the enlightened being hears the word racism, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what this word means. And when it's explained, oh, it is a conflict between 2 different colors of people. What? So to even use the word racism in a positive way is to give birth to this idea that this exists. Because everything is the same means you go back to that primitive man. That first man, or first woman, or first life. Because man and woman did not have the name man and woman. Man and woman was just existence. It had no mind to say, you're a man. The Bible did not exist. God did not exist. Life existed and you appeared to be existing as it. But you didn't even know the word life. We live every day in fear of going backwards into that position. And that's okay, because forward is the same as backwards. At some point, you're going to end at the beginning. That's the deal. That's samsara, circular. But in Thich Nhat Hanh's mindfulness, he leaves a gap in the circle. Some escape that circle. Where do you go? No mind, no ego mind can make anything out of that. It just is what it is. Not here to blasphemize rich, blasphemize poor. These are words, these are ideas, these are materialistic measurements, these are holistic measurements, these are religious measurements, these are scientific measurements, these are atheist measurements. They are not valid to the individual you. You're using these to try and enhance and reach that thing inside that says, come on, push on, keep trying, keep aiming for a new bike, keep aiming for a new job, keep aiming for 45 more yachts, keep aiming for a beautiful, nice family that connects and lives very content enough to continuation of the body. Even that's an idea. Even that's a concept. Much more reachable, attainable concept to just accept everything as it is and do not associate or attach to the advertisement of ego. This speaker went to university to try and fit in, to try and attain many years ago. And now, it never really happened. It was just a dream, an idea, a thought. I never went to university. I never go anywhere. I never goes anywhere. I appears to be moving throughout this planetary system. But it's the planetary system moving through I. But your mind will say, I don't know what he's talking about. It's obvious that the body moves. This I is not the body. We have two I's. We have I am the body. I am the person. I am the story. I am the difference. I am the mind. I am the soul. I am the spirit. That I am associates and attaches to the ego mind, which none is exempt. But it takes hold of the leash of the ego mind and let the ego mind take it everywhere it wants it to go. Through a thinking, journeying, conceptual, idealistic way that there's something more, something better, something higher, something lower, something extraordinary out there. When the extraordinary is the I that holds the body together, that holds the world together. The I of consciousness that I is. You don't have to reach or attain this original. Wow. every moment of your day. But if you just get one glimpse of that one moment by staying in this conscious I, you will be shocked. But it will be a delightful shock that you are not really on this journey of suffering. Suffering is put there for you to see it, to experience it, and then to realize it. It was put there to stop you relying on suffering and thinking it's okay to suffer. Everyone else suffers. Remove the suffering. Remove the I am the story and remain as consciousness I consciousness is. Everything one whole I. One whole consciousness.